Hi there, Paul here from the beginnerguitaristacademy.com, and in this video I'll be sharing with you my top 5 tips for getting out of a guitar rut and increasing your motivation to play the guitar. One of the things I notice, especially when going to forums or through some of the comments people make, regarding the guitar, is they feel like they get into, a rut, or they struggle for motivation, especially when trying to play the guitar. Sometimes it can be, it can be quite a challenge to learn how to play the guitar. So you may feel that you get into a rut, or you may even get bored, or you kind of get overwhelmed. So if you feel right now that you're in a bit of a rut with the guitar, or you just like to increase your motivation so you can practice more and achieve more on the guitar, then I encourage you to keep watching this video, because I will be sharing with you my top 5 tips for getting out of a guitar rut and increasing your motivation to play the guitar. Now, if you see me looking down, I've just got my iPad here with some notes so I don't miss anything. So let's talk about tip number 1. So we'll get straight into it. So tip number 1, I think, is just to learn a new song. So from what I've seen is when people get into a rut on the guitar, it's because they just keep learning the same old things. They're either, they're playing just maybe chords, they're focusing on chords, or they're just doing scale after scale or chord after chord, or even just the songs that they've got, they just keep playing those same songs over and over again, which, it gets boring. So my first tip is to learn a new song. So find a song that you've always wanted to learn how to play, but haven't been bothered, or something that you think would be great to learn on the guitar, something that maybe you could show off to friends with. Pick a song and just learn it. Now, sometimes I think, maybe pick a song that's slightly outside your comfort zone, where you're going to have to expand and get better. Or you can actually, there's kind of another way, is where you can just learn something that you can kind of learn quickly, where you get a quick win. So I do recommend learning something where you're going to get out of your comfort zone a little, but initially, especially if you're in a real rut, maybe just get some wins on the board by learning a simple song that sounds good. And that's kind of my first tip for getting out of a rut, is just to learn a new song. Tip number 2 is something I love doing, and I do quite often. It's here on YouTube, is listen to live concert videos. So whoever your favorite band is, just type in that your favorite band and type live or concert at the end. So a few bands I like: Good Charlotte, I love Nickelback, Green Day, Sum 41. So kind of those punk pops. Even Guns N' Roses, and I'm just trying, I even like Deep Purple and a few things like that. So an AC/DC. So type in, say, AC/DC live, or AC/DC concert, or Guns N' Roses concert, Guns N' Roses live, or if you want to learn a song such as Sweet Child O' Mine, or Welcome to the Jungle live, and just watch those concert videos and watch them play. And when I do that, I find that I get inspired, and that I actually want to be as good as them. And one day, while my goal is not to be a famous guitarist or a famous musician on stage, I always get inspired. That it just makes me want to learn, a new song, or learn one of those songs. So listen to live concert videos here on YouTube, and that's my second tip for getting inspired and getting out of that guitar rut. Tip number 3 is to actually see an actual live concert. So instead of watching them on YouTube, if you get the chance and there's a band that you like or love that's coming, to town or nearby, go see them. I know it might cost $100 or so, sometimes a little bit less or more, depending on who it is. But, spend that money, go out and see them. Just being in that atmosphere of the crowd, they're playing on stage, and you've got the lights and, the effects, and that, it just gets you inspired. I remember the last concert I saw was actually Nickelback, and you're just hearing the music and being part of that atmosphere. Really, I remember that, while I'm in the crowd, thinking, I just love to go, get the guitar and play along, and and just learn, some of their songs. So that's tip number 3, is to actually see an actual live concert. Tip number 4 is sometimes it's just as easy as taking a bit of a break, especially if you've been, you're playing every day, or you're playing fairly often. You may actually just want to take a break, and everyone needs a bit of a holiday, especially, from work or school or college or university. You need time just to do something else, and sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder. So it could be the case where you do something else for a little while. Maybe you have a week break. So a break for a week, or maybe 2 weeks, and then you come back and you feel more inspired and ready to get back into it. So tip number 4 is to take a break. Tip number 5 is to actually learn a new instrument. This is something I did. So I've always been playing the guitar. I've been playing the guitar for a bit over 10 years, and probably about 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I wanted to learn how to play the drums, and I've always wanted to learn how to play the drums as well. So, you know, we were in a band, so I got the opportunity to kind of muck around and play on the drums, on the drummer's drums. But then I eventually bought my own kit. It was just a couple $100. I think it was $200 or $300. I just bought a very cheap kit. Didn't sound very good, but you know, I got to muck around and learn a new instrument. And then eventually bought an electric set. Which cost a little bit more, but and then, you know, I still muck around with it every now and then. But what I found is, you know, I started learning that, and then I've come back to the guitar, and I'm really inspired, you know, with the guitar, and absolutely love playing it. I always have, but once you learn something new, it's kind of that same thing as taking a bit of a break. You just feel more inspired to play. So that's tip number 5, is learn a new instrument if you can. And I've actually got one more tip, which is a bit of a bonus tip, and it's probably my favorite tip of all. And if you really want to get out of a guitar rut and increase your motivation to play the guitar, the best thing I can suggest, and that's kind of our bonus tip here, is to play along with others. So whether you jam with a friend, form a band, or even just, you know, getting a guitar tutor and just having someone that you can play the guitar along with, whatever way you do it, just being able to play with somebody else, or, you know, in a band kind of environment, or especially live on stage, you know, it really does, it does increase your motivation and your desire to play. So one of the, sometimes one of the issues is when you're learning to play songs, yeah, it sounds cool, but then sometimes it feels like, well, why am I bothering doing this? You know, there's no purpose. But when you're in a band, you know, you need to learn those songs so you can play them either within the band, or especially if you're playing on stage, you know, you need to get those songs down perfect. Otherwise you look like a bit of a fool if you keep mucking up on stage. So, that's kind of the best tip I can. If you really want to get out of a guitar rut, increase your motivation, try and form a band, or at least play the guitar along with others. You know, it could be just another friend, it could be, someone, you know, you're playing the guitar and they're singing, whatever, you know, just doing that and getting involved with other people and seeing their musical ability, and you know, you grow a lot quicker. For me, you know, I was taking lessons and I was learning out of books and those, you know, videos and whatnot, but it wasn't until I formed a band where I probably made the most progress in the quickest amount of time, because you've just got to get better. Otherwise you're either left behind, or, you know, it gets quite frustrating and they're kind of getting up you because you can't play the song. So they're my top 5 tips, with our bonus tip there on the end for getting out of a guitar rut, increasing your motivation. What I guess I challenge you to do after watching this video is just pick one of those tips. It could be as simple as learning a new song, going to a concert, going out and forming a band, jamming with friends, doesn't matter. And if you're not even that good on the guitar, or you're just getting started, don't worry, because I wasn't that great when I got started and formed a band. You actually get better a lot quicker by doing it. So find someone, you know, very similar skill levels and get together. So, you know, my challenge is to pick one of those 6 tips that we've covered, and then just start implementing it, you know, today or as soon as you watch this video. But hopefully you found those tips valuable. I hope it gets you out of that guitar rut if you're in one now, and gets you, increases your desire or motivation at least to play the guitar. And if you like this video, then below this video you can get a free ebook that I've put together that will teach you how to play the guitar. It's called The Beginner's Guide to Playing the Guitar. It's going to show you all the things you need to know, such as guitar chords, the basics of the guitar, tuning your guitar, songs to play on the guitar, plus more. You can get that ebook by either clicking the link below this video or going to beginnerguitaristacademy.com/ebook. So I guess again, implement one of those tips today. Feel free to get that ebook by clicking the link below or going to beginnerguitaristacademy.com/ebook, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day.